Hi, welcome to Daily Chess and another clip on how to calculate variations. And as usual, I will try to work on this site here on chesstempo.com and solve technical puzzles and exercises, and try to show and give my thought or process of thought while solving this exercises. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Okay, let's just first of all grab the most important motifs. Okay, this bishop there, okay, is bound to the knight. Okay, the bishop protects the knight, the queen also. He has in a way, okay, maybe eyes f2, but he cannot do it right now. If it's black to move, he cannot take it because I would take. Knight takes and the bishop hangs. Okay, that's 1 point. If I take the bishop here, I distract this knight, so he has to go to b2. Once he does so, those two pieces are unprotected. Okay, we have a knight and a bishop there. Then queen d2. I will take one of those. Okay, the queen probably has to go to b3 then. d3 is not good because the bishop attacks it. And after queen b3, let's see, this maybe the critical point here. Queen d2, queen b3, and then okay, the bishop still has to go out somehow. So what if I first push by queen? Wait a second. Okay, of course, I can probably just play bishop e2. Yeah, okay, because this bishop here is bound to this knight here. So if I play bishop e2, if he takes here, let's say some candidates, if he takes on f2, this one possibility. I would take, because it's with check, knight takes, and finally the bishop hangs, winning. If queen e2, bishop e2, he has to react somehow. The queen is attacked. Where does he want to go? He can go to d5 to f5. Let's put it to f5. I will then bishop takes d1, winning a piece, and attacking two pieces, the bishop here and the bishop there. So if he takes my bishop, I take his, and I just remain a piece up, right? Because right now I have two minor pieces, I'm just an exchange up. Okay, so bishop e2, queen f5, bishop takes d1, bishop takes d1, bishop takes b2. Bishop e2 takes, winning a piece. He regains the piece, I win another piece. If I take on d1, he takes on e5. Let's say with the queen, I just take her. Bishop takes, so this looks very strong. Okay, queen f5 doesn't work. Bishop e2, queen d5. Just to protect this one. But after bishop takes d1, it's the same, right? Yeah, probably. So this seems to work. Okay. Queen f5. Okay, just take it. Take the bishop on b2, winning. Okay. Well, let's just download this one as always. Okay. Let's go to the next problem. Okay. Well, you promoted the second queen. Okay, that's of course a powerhouse. The king is a very dangerous place there. I mean, if I could just play rook d1 and just threaten mate, so maybe even that's the way to go. Okay, I have to consider all the checks. After rook d1, which seems the only way. I mean, I cannot win both queens, that's probably impossible. But if I play rook d1, I have a very serious threat of just queen h1. So either he has to give a check somehow to try to, I don't know, mate me. He has to try to block my attack, or to make a live for his king after moving the queen. Okay, he cannot give check on e8, he cannot give check on g8, he cannot give check on f5. Okay, he can, but I just take it with the king. He cannot give a check on d3 because both the rook and the bishop protects it. So that's okay, he cannot give a check. Let's consider the other possibility. Blocking is not possible, I just finish him off with queen takes g1. So any desperate sacrifice, queen takes g5, h6 g5. Okay, king escapes. Seemingly so, but after queen f4 it's mate. Therefore the sacrifice doesn't work. Okay, queen moves somewhere. Let's see, let's maybe... I still have a light squared bishop. Okay, well... Okay, let's recap. Okay, queen, rook d1. Queen, where can she go? She could go to e5. This is protected by the rook. c7, b8. I think b8 is not relevant. Maybe c7. c7, e5. Okay, that's on this diagonal. She could go to e3, c3, a3. So she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possibilities to go to. So let's calculate them. Okay, let's start with, I don't know, queen a3 for instance. Or let's say queen e5, because maybe I have some forks here, you know. Okay, queen e5. The problem being, if I check here, king goes to g3, I have no checks with the queen. So after queen e5, I could maybe give a check first. If he takes, I can go queen h1, check, king g3, queen takes h4, that's the difference. He has to go to a light square. Okay. How to make progress. Rook there, rook d3. Looks serious, okay. Queen e5. This is at least, I think, the only idea, right? I mean, if I check first, no, I think I have to go for this, okay. But yeah, he goes queen f3, queen f3. This is okay. I don't have to forget that he has two queens. So queen h1, king g3, rook d3. He just returns the exchange. Okay, remain a piece up, right? Yeah, but isn't there something else? Checking there. I mean, he has very little space. Okay, now we search for the win. Knight h5 is maybe the most forcing. Knight h5, he has two squares to go to. King g4 and king f2. King f2 loses due to queen e1 checkmate. King g4 looks like the move that holds. Light square. If I could check him somehow, I couldn't prevent it, it would be mate. No, this cannot be the solution. He still cannot give me any checks, right? But he could sacrifice his queen for my rook. This, yes, we just remain a piece up for a pawn. What about bishop d5? Bishop d5, threatening the queen, after which I would just be, yeah, a whole rook up. If he takes on d1, I just finish him off on g2. So okay, let's move the queen somehow. I'm not sure. I mean, especially if he sacrifices on f6, I could maybe get into problems. Yeah, okay, so much to calculate. What about queen d1, e1 check? Just goes back. Okay. Rook d3. Okay, let's go for it. If you exchange it off, I just remain. Okay, this would be winning. But his king is so dangerous placed. I mean, this should be somehow made. It's not possible. What about h5? Just simply threatening h4 with a rather quick mate on d1, e1. Bishop d5, okay, bishop d5. Queen takes f6 is complicated. King takes f6 forced. Threatening mate on g2. Queen. Queen f8 check. King. Oof, yeah. That's oh god, that's complicated. Of course, I could try just move something and see if it's right or wrong, but let's consider this a really practical test. I mean, if it's an over the board game. So rook d3 just avoids all the complications. Well, but on the other hand, I mean h5, h4 would be nice, but I'm not sure. Bishop d5. I mean, if she moves somewhere, okay, she still has e2. No, this cannot be. Maybe it's rook d3. I mean, forcing away to queen exchange, right? The rook d3. What about bishop e3? Attacking my bishop here. This is very complicated. Well then, queen e1 check. If he moves, I just pick this bishop up. Let's just try it. Okay, that was wrong. Okay, let me see. Rook d1 was okay, right? Queen f3, okay, check. And then given this one, why? I see it they do. With bishop f2, just queen e5 check. Damn. Yeah, okay. That's quite convincing. Phew. Well, this was a rather tough one. Okay, let's download it and go for the next one. Okay, it looks like a Greek sacrifice. Okay, knight g5 is probably a very strong move here. If king g8, queen h5 mates quickly. That's the only idea, so go for it. Now there's a crucial point. I could play queen g4, and unfortunately I didn't study this topic to a great extent. I have queen d3, queen g4, maybe rook f3, h4, h5. I don't think this does work. Queen g4 is an immediate threat of just playing queen takes, knight takes e6 check. Then he has to go, and I finally finish him off on g7. For instance, queen h6, king h6, queen takes g7 check. He has to go to queen g4. Queen d3 is maybe more forcing right now. He only has two squares. h6, okay, h5, h6 or f5. The only moves. h5 is lost. Queen h3 check, king has to go back, and queen h7 mate. Okay, the same goes probably with queen h6, just check, goes back, mate. Okay, so f5 is the only option after queen d3. f5. What about queen h3 then? You cannot escape there, he cannot escape there, so that's taken. He would have to sacrifice the rook. Looks strong, yeah. This check, only move I mean. Then queen h3. How can you prevent queen h7 mate? You can't. Rook h8. Queen takes a rook. Still threatening the same. He has to sacrifice his queen. I have let's see counter material. Rook. Knight, queen, bishop. Okay, I just sacrificed my bishop. So if I get his queen for this, I'm just gonna exchange up. Okay, that's maybe the right way to go. Queen c2 probably the same, but no, sorry, I cannot go to h3. So queen d3. Here it comes, and this, yeah, he has to sacrifice it, to which white wins. Okay, great. 18 minutes passed, okay. Let's take the next example. Okay, his king is a bit vulnerable probably. My own king is also a bit lofty, but it has at least some shell time. The king a rook controls g2, d3 is controlled, he cannot give check on e2 and f2. On the other hand, he protects this one. Okay, this king is very vulnerable. I mean, especially this rook here is a powerhouse. This bishop cannot be protected by the king, so it means that g7 might be very, very weak. What about queen f7? Just attacking the bishop. If he moves, it's mate. You cannot move king h7. Unfortunately, queen takes h6 doesn't work. Takes and bishop d4 check, because he has this one. Queen f7 looks like a very powerful threat of mating 2, takes and g7. I mean, he doesn't even have any real counterplay. You cannot protect it because you cannot remove the pawn. You cannot go to dark squares in one move. Oh, actually, you cannot control it by a diagonal. You could only go queen a1, but I just take her and take the bishop. He goes back. That's just for me. What? Okay, let's see. Why does Queen f7? Why doesn't it work? Did I just miss something? Maybe a threat? Let's see the comments. Ah, that's the difference. Yeah, of course, it's not a pin. Okay, so he can go bishop b4 check, and this looks crucial. Damn. Okay, I failed to consider all his resources. Can remember that. Let's download it and take another one. Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay, let's go for the next example. Queen c2. Again, this king is very lefty. Okay, one idea is to try to build a mating net, you know. g5 check, king h5 is the only move, and then after king h3 I would just threaten bishop f3 mate. But after king h3, okay, there's a big problem probably, because my bishop is not as good as it seems. After g5, king h5, queen h3, he has queen c3 check, yeah? If I take, I cannot stop this pawn, but I can maybe play queen, bishop f3 check. He has to sacrifice his queen, and it's still mate, yeah? Let's go for g5, king h5, queen h3, king h3. Even if he checks on f5, yeah? This looks annoying. I mean, I'm not sure if this is winning. If they have a lone bishop, this bishop's pawns here are very... Yeah, probably it is. Okay, g5, king h5. What about king g2, g3? I just avoid queen h5 check, because after queen h5, f5, sorry, I still have bishop f3. Okay, it's a good move, but the computer's not the computer's first choice. Ah, damn. Okay. What do you want to play? Why not this? Queen g5 checking goes there. I don't like this. King g3, just queen there, and queen's exchange is probably in a way, in a way that I cannot avoid it. If I go queen d8, I just threaten this. The same goes with queen takes f7. I just threaten queen f8 mate. Yeah. How can he avoid this? He can go queen c3, to which... Oh yeah, this looks also very strong. It's a queen takes f7. He has to protect g7. Queen c3 or queen b2 doesn't matter. Yeah, probably it matters, but let's go for queen c3 first, because here the pin is still active. I can still go for this, because if queen g7 I just play g5 and he will lose his queen. But isn't it even mate? I mean... Okay, this should be enough, I mean. This... Okay, let's see. It might even be mate. Queen f3 check. Only move king takes. Queen g3 important to protect this pawn. King h5 and bishop finish him off. He wants to do it that way. Okay, bishop f3, king has to take, queen f4, checkmate. Okay, let's do it that way. Okay, that's a nice example. Okay, of course, queen takes f7 would have won anyway later on, but I mean, mate is still the best option, the best possible outcome. So, yeah. Okay, that's a beautiful example to consider. You know, to always have in mind the best move and the main aim of the game. Okay, 25 minutes. Let's go for the last example probably. Okay, once again I have a very powerful lineup. We have a discovered attack here, and the pieces are very, very active. Okay, he doesn't have many squares left. Yeah. Okay, if I check him, okay, I have a discovered attack. Okay, that's. I could of course try to double check him. So maybe ideas such as rook f6, check rook g5, check even if I sacrifice it, might be an idea. I mean, if I play g4, I just threaten rook f6 mate. Because a double attack, the king would have to react and he cannot, so it's mate. Yeah, so probably g4, right? What about this? Bishop takes d5, I just take and discover attack. And it's this one. Okay, let's go for g4. Threatening at rook f6, double check, mate. Yeah? No. King g5. Damn. Oh yeah, okay. What about rook e5 check? Simply to stop the power of these rooks. Still a discovered attack. He cannot go. I mean, this king is still encaged. After this, he really has only two moves. One is king h6, and the other is first to play knight e4. After which I take with check, and the king h6 is forced. After which, I mean, the bishop doesn't control f6 anymore, and rook f6 is mate. Yeah, it's a forced mate, yeah. Okay, beautiful example, of course, okay. Sorry, I just missed that the knight on e4 is pinned, so I can just play and move quicker, faster, and just play rook f6 immediately, straight away. So, okay. Yeah, well, let's try another one. Well, probably not this time. Okay. Well, let's check my score. I think I have two examples that failed, yeah. So 4 correct, 2 incorrect. Okay. Well, that's not a score I would like to have, but at least it's a plus score. The 2 examples I missed, yeah, yes, I guess I will remember them for a very long time. And yeah, one was just to play the spin, so avoid bishop b4 check. Yeah, it was a bit stupid. And the other one I just wrongly calculated. Okay. Well, if you have any suggestions, maybe some ideas which I missed to mention, just leave a comment on my YouTube channel, DailyChessTV. And don't forget to subscribe once you see this clip, and share this show to your chess friends, either in your chess club or I don't know, on Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus, or whatever. So it would help me very much this way. I would like to thank Chessbase, Schach Niggemann, and the admins and of chesstempo.com for supporting this show. Thank you very much. Bye bye.